Well, hello, good afternoon, lovers. Welcome to the Daily Fix with Ron Hughley. The Daily Fix presented by Foolish Club Media. I am Ron Hughley. There in the little box where he belongs is Steven Serta, who rolls with us every day. Remember, the Daily Fix is live every day at noon Central Standard Time. So come hang out with us before we get to the other housekeeping stuff. I do have some sad news, and listen, we appreciate everybody who has been rolling with us. This is and has been the fastest, slowest growing digital show in all of digital platforms. But we appreciate you rolling with us. But we do have some sad news. We will not be live or going at all tomorrow, so there will be no fix tomorrow. So there will be no daily fix tomorrow. We'll be back on Monday, and I do apologize for that. But hey man, sometimes life happens.
My fault.
But
it's my fault.
Listen. As a leader, I was not going to say whose fault it was.
I'm just going out of town. Quick little weekend trip before the Chiefs season.
It's completely unnecessary for you to tell what it is. We're just
okay. I'm just being honest with the audience. It's because I decided to go out of town this weekend.
You're doing too much. When Johnny Carson takes off, he just takes off. He doesn't go in and announce why he's taking off or where he's going. Okay?
I'm going to see fish in case anybody.
Okay, stop, man. Good Lord. But no, stay with us. First thing I do need you to do is first, if you are joining us on Twitter, hello, thank you. And if you're on YouTube, hello, thank you as well. Please head to Foolish Club Media on YouTube that presents the Daily Fix. Head to Foolish Club Media. Please like and subscribe. Need you to do that, like and subscribe. And if you do not do that, just letting you know you are preventing my 3 children from being able to eat. Not going to hold you long, but do want to get to, boy, when I'm telling you, when certain guys pull their card and shoot their shot right, we got a couple of great shooters in sports that I want to talk about. I'm so proud of these gentlemen. They have pulled this thing off. I mean, they've taken the Travis Kelce mold, even though they're not nearly as good as Travis Kelce at their job. They've taken that mold to really roll through. Well, maybe one of them is, but we'll get to that. Also, Mike Tomlin said a thing yesterday, and I don't know if you or the audience knows this, but I have a secret, and I have a secret, and it has to do with Mike Tomlin's comments that he made yesterday about his quarterback situation. Well, that's a tease for your ass. We'll get to that, but before we get there, I want to start here, Steve, and I've been asking myself this question. Now that training camp is done, OTAs is done, mandatory minicamp is done, preseason games are done. We all had a certain feeling about the Chiefs going into that process. And I've been asking myself, do I feel better about this team now that, what are they, a week away from this sucker starting? They're exactly a week away. This time next Thursday is game day as they'll host the Ravens to open up the season in Arrowhead. Do I feel better about this team than I did before? And the answer is, oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, baby. Hell yeah. Now, look,
you're going to go, honestly.
I know you did. There are some concerns, and we'll get to them. But, I mean, first and foremost, outside of Hollywood Brown, there's no real significant injuries, and Hollywood Brown is temporary. And, I mean, when you take a look at this, Steve, and you have to look at this from the Chiefs' perspective of Super Bowl, because they ain't playing for nothing else, right? Nothing else matters. To me, it's a failure. That's how they've got to think about it. It's a failure if they don't attain the goal to win the Super Bowl. That's what you're at Patrick Mahomes' prime. That's what this thing is about. It's like playing with LeBron, playing with Jordan in their primes, whatever. Tiger, if I don't win the major, it doesn't matter. That's where it is. And from that premise, I think they're in good shape. Now, you got the Hollywood Brown injury that will be, like I said, temporary, maybe the first couple of weeks. Rashee Rice, listen, I don't know what's going on, still a week away, but that seems to be looking good. And the secret sauce about this team, Serta, is which is unusual for a team that's in the midst of a dynasty, they have a lot of area of growth. And Kingsley, to me, is further along right now than I thought he would be. I was thinking, boy, more to the middle of the year, and I still believe that it'll look really good. Worth, I don't know about you, Steve, is further along, and we understand anybody that has a mind or doesn't fool around with foolishness, being around the best coaching staff, I believe, in the league, the growth from young players jump up. Hicks in the secondary in the same vein. Like I said, I got some concerns. That linebacking core, hopefully they can protect that. That second and third corner situation, hopefully they can protect that. But in terms of Super Bowl and what this team is about, I feel really good because some of these young guys are a lot further along than I thought they would be right now.
I think Chiefs fans should feel great about the state of the team right now, just because even if the defense takes a step back, which it's inevitably going to, last season's defense was the greatest Chiefs defense that we've ever seen.
I believe that. One of the best defenses in the last 10 years, I think.
Like, I don't think they're going to be able to replicate that. Like, they just don't have the same personnel this year, but they're still going to be good enough, and the offense should take the step forward that we expect. Then that's going to be able to offset any step back that the defense takes. And it's also worth mentioning this morning, NFL PR said, when asked about Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice, said, "We don't anticipate he'll be placed on commissioner's exempt unless there is a material change in his legal case." So it sounds like Rashee Rice is not going to get suspended this season, barring some kind of dramatic shift in his off-field situation. So they should have him to start the regular season. It sounds like he's going to be able to play this year, barring some dramatic change. And then you get Hollywood Brown back. Like, the Chiefs offense is going to be a top 5 offense in the NFL this year.
Certainly feels that way. And these young guys that they have are just, to me, going to improve and get better and better under this coaching staff. So I do feel pretty good. Concerns, but I feel better than I did going into the season. All right, Mike Tomlin yesterday said that he made the decision to go Russell Wilson over Justin Fields as a starter, and I'm not surprised by that. This is a defensive guy who has never had a losing season, and I would think probably feels like they could have won 10, 11 ball games last year if they had any kind of quarterback play. If you look at Russell's numbers, I wouldn't use the word resurgence last year, but it was much better than year one in Denver. And I mean, Mike Tomlin's probably looking at that. Hell, he didn't have Denver. He helped Denver as the quarterback remain in the playoff hunt all the way until almost the very end. And I'm sure Mike Tomlin's thinking that if I had that quarterback play, I may have won a couple more games. And look, I've said it on here. I want to see Justin Fields because I want to see the ceiling. He seems to be more fun. But I got a secret. I don't know why, and I don't you can't help what the heart feels. I got a sweet spot in my heart for Russell Wilson for some reason.
Is it just because of Sierra?
No, it's not. And it's not at all. Like, for a long time, Steve, I felt like this has got to be one of the most disingenuous, fakest people I've ever seen in my life. But I mean, watching him more and more, I don't think he is. I think he's just really super goofy. I mean, I just think I don't think he's putting on an act for us. And maybe he's getting me and he's saying somewhere, gotcha, Ron. I don't think so. And I think people give him a lot of hell about being fake and corny. And I just think he's corny. I just think he's just that type of dude. And I think he's being himself. And I think there's some jealousy that his corny self was able to pull off Sierra and that she loves this fool till death do us part. And people have some jealousy on that. And I think people are a little harsh personally with Russ, not just his play, but it seems like it's a personal thing with Russ. And they just think he's fake. I don't think he is. I just think he has this certain level of corny goofiness. I think RG3 is the same. I think RG3 is the same company. Like I think they're just goofy, weird, kind of weird guys. And I feel bad for him.
Well, I certainly don't feel bad for him. He's
That's
made
all
a
right.
ton of money in his NFL career.
Yeah, not from that perspective.
And the Broncos are still paying him a boatload of money to play for the Steelers this season. But I think he's just a dork. Like,
yes, I do.
I just don't think he's an interesting or funny person. Like, I think he's just a dork, and he's really bland and boring.
No, but he is. But like, he's Andrew Luck. But Andrew Luck doesn't get pushed around and was called fake about it and made fun. Like it's. I feel like it's not even that he's made fun of because he's a dork. We'll use your term. It is people don't think he's being honest and being himself. And I just feel bad for it. And I think it pisses a lot of people off that dork pulled off them goodies. Like, I think it does. Like, I think Little Bow Wow, I think he has a photo of Russ, and Future has a photo of Russ in their bedrooms that they throw arrows at every day. Like, I think it just ticks people off. All right, speaking of people who have pulled the Russell Wilson, although these guys aren't Russell, I've seen two of them. Shout out to Adele and Rich Paul. Congratulations. I love to see any kind of love, whether it's black love, white love, interracial love. Good to them. Good for them. Good for them to see that love. And how about Rich Paul pulling that off? Now, listen, I mean, LeBron James, now you talk about it. You talk about dragging your friends to the top. How did he pull off this one? He has pulled off Adele, and I'm going to tell you, you talk about, you know how teams go from certain coaches to other coaches. This was not her first guy. This was not the guy that she I believe married previously. She was dating a completely different fella from a Rich Paul. And now she has found love with Rich Paul, and Rich Paul has pulled this off. Even though he's a little guy, which I appreciate, and she always towers over him when they're out in public, but it doesn't matter. He pulled her off. And he's not alone, because barely a sixth man, but even further down on NBA benches, Torrey Craig, many of you have probably never heard of, he has also pulled it off. He's pulled off Megan Thee Stallion. And she has now made a video of them in bed doing their little pillow talk, and I couldn't be more happier for Torrey Craig. This is beautiful for both of you. You pulled it off. Torrey Craig is going to be more famous than he ever thought he would be, and he is also pulling off that young lady that everybody sees. I'm going to tell you what. There's a kid who played for the Houston Astros whose career has been ruined because he gave Megan Thee Stallion a hug and got his hands a little low. And ever since then, he has been awful because I think he has been hypnotized by the ass of Megan Thee Stallion. And David Hensley hasn't been the same. And you know what? Torrey Craig is coming home to that every night. So congratulations to Torrey Craig and Rich Paul for pulling off. Say, Jay-Z, you ain't the only one that could do it. Travis Kelce, you ain't the only one that could do it. That's got to be the new move. If you are a guy at the end of a bench or something like that, can you be that alternative to a superstar out there? Is there somebody on the end of a bench has got their eye on Ariana Grande? Somebody on the end of a bench has got their eye. Can I be the one to slip in on J-Lo? Can I be the one to be a more normal guy to pick up J-Lo? I'm telling you, that's got to be the new move for some of these guys. Congratulations, fellas. You talk about shooting your shot.
It's impressive.
It's impressive. It's impressive and aggressive. My barber is a full-out basketball guy. Had no clue who Torrey Craig was. None. He knows him now, and I think there's a hint of jealousy. Hi, Mom and Courtney.